Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Stan Tompkinson.
And I'm Kath Dinsdale. Here's what's coming up on the programme today.
A local man swimming lengths for food banks. And
the latest from Amma Street, where the police have cordoned off the area. And
go. With National Biscuit Day just around the corner, we try and find out the nation's favourite.
But first, the RHS Garden Bridgewater in Worsley has been open for just over a week. Our reporter Eliza Barrett is there to see how successful it's been so far.
The 154-acre garden is the first horticultural society garden in an urban area of the UK. The planning for this garden started back in 2017, with the RHS investing £35 million into the build and hoping it will generate around £13.2 million per year for the local economy by 2030. The garden opened a year later than originally planned due to the coronavirus pandemic. From this week onwards, all Salford residents will get in for free every Tuesday, thanks to an arrangement between RHS and Salford City Council. Salford City Council and RHS have also worked together to promote jobs for local residents, claiming almost half of the roles have been filled by people living within 5 miles. And local GPs can prescribe free visits for patients instead of antidepressants. I spoke to visitors of the garden to see how they felt about the addition to the area. So what's brought you here today?
Well, my brother offered to bring my sister and I out for a day trip, and we'd seen it advertised on the television and in the newspaper, so we snatched his hand off.
Do you think this will be good for the local economy?
Oh, I think so. It's what we needed. We wanted an RHS venue nearer to home for a long time, so it's ideal for us. We intend to come again in summer when there's a lot more.
Amazing. I think once it's matured a little bit more, you get an awful lot more visitors. Well, we've walked around and every garden we've gone in, we've said wow, because we were expecting a lot less than what it is because it's only quite new, but actually it's fairly mature really, considering.
I think because it was supposed to open last year, maybe last year it would be a bit sparse, but this year it's had a chance to sort of establish a bit. It will bring a lot of people, you know, if they're on holiday or just coming out for a day.
It's been a lovely day here today at RHS Bridgewater Gardens. If you do have the chance, I'd really recommend you come in to visit. Eliza Barrett, Quays News.
Since 2010, the number of people using food banks has increased from 40,000 to over 2.5 million people. A local DJ is helping to raise money to help the people in need.
Think you can swim 100 laps a day for 36 days? Well, Rich Reason is doing just that, all in aid of Manchester Central's food bank.
Usually I do events as I do events in my sort of life, so I've run this thing called Food for Thought for the last few years, and I do one a year. It's the first festival where people pay in with food to go, so it's like at least 4 items for a food bank, so 4 tins of beans or 4 pot noodles, and toiletries are very welcome as well. And so everyone's in the queue and they're holding sort of like pasta and rice and so on and so forth. And so we do that every year, but obviously we haven't been able to do events for a while, and I'm still in touch with the food banks a bit, and I know that they've been so overly subscribed. I mean, there's so much demand for food banks, for actually donations, because everyone's struggling, are actually lowest than they've ever been. So I know that they really need money at the moment. I felt sort of a bit guilty, and I also thought as well to do something a bit different and outside my comfort zone, and you know, and maybe sort of like work off some of that lockdown belly at the same time, you know. So yeah.
Every penny from every length raised by Rich will go to this Oxford Road food bank. Opened in 2013, the Manchester Central Food Bank are working to combat poverty and hunger across the UK, providing nutritionally balanced meals to local people referred to them in a crisis. In 2020, the Central Food Bank provided roughly 70,000 meals. Over 60 tonnes of food were given to people in need, with over 3,000 volunteer hours being donated, 560 of which were spent delivering food parcels to clients. And every penny raised by Rich's Swim Challenge will help this year's donations to be even higher. I caught up with Rich towards the end of his challenge to see how he's gotten on.
So the first time, obviously, we spoke, you were on day 3. So what day are you on now?
of your challenge?
They completed day 23 today.
So how many days have you got there?
32 in total, so yeah, 9 days. I feel like I'm doing it on the whole a bit quicker. I mean, I can do it sort of fairly comfortably under an hour. The goal is 2.5 grand, and we're at 89% of that. So I am feeling pretty confident we're going to hit that, and if we hit that, we'll extend the target.
Lily McVeigh, Quays News.
And now here's Nathan Bagnall with the latest headlines.
Thanks, Stan. Yes, Matt Hancock is the latest cabinet member to answer questions over his involvement in the handling of COVID-19. This comes after Dominic Cummings alleged yesterday that Hancock should have been fired for at least 15 to 20 things and that the government failed in its response to the virus. Victims have been rescued from what has been described as modern slavery as a string of raids have targeted Greater Manchester gangs. A toddler was among dozens who had been offered protection as 17 were arrested during the week.
Thanks, Nathan. And a man has been found and taken to hospital after suffering significant head injuries in Salford. Our reporter Charlie O'Loughlin is live at Amos Street, where the police have cordoned off the area. So, Charlie, what's going on?
Yes, so it was around 8 o'clock this morning when police were alerted after a welfare call was made after a man had sustained serious head injuries on Amos Street in Salford. So he's now being taken to hospital where he's in a very serious condition, but he said he's stable.
So has anyone been arrested yet?
Earlier this morning, Greater Manchester Police made a statement that a man had actually been arrested for the assault on suspicion of assault. As you can see, the area is still cordoned off and is very, very busy now. This event joins a string of serious crimes along Salford, with a sexual assault, a shooting, and now today's assault all happening within minutes of each other in location-wise. The crimes, however, are not believed to be linked.
There's been quite a few crimes in Salford recently, hasn't there?
Just in case. Right, no worries.
Sorry for that about that. There's a few technical difficulties with the line there. Unfortunately, I think we're just sort of losing connection with Charlie there. But I suppose moving on, biscuits are bought by 27 million households and eaten on 6 billion occasions in the UK. And our love for them is clear, with the British biscuit consumption being the highest in the world.
But what is the history behind a Bicky? Amy McKenna and I find out more.
Whether you're partial to a custard cream, plain old digestive, or just a lover of biscuits in general, this coming Saturday could be the day for you, as it marks its National Day. As you can imagine, celebrating must be a lot of fun. It's a day where you can eat as many biscuits as you like and no one can complain. Historian Lizzie Collingham has told me the history behind biscuits themselves.
Biscuits are the first foodstuff to be manufactured in a way. So the very first foodstuff that's actually made by machine.
With great biscuit comes great debate. And now time for the famous Jaffa cake. Is it a biscuit or is it a cake? We asked the public.
It's definitely a biscuit.
Jaffa cakes are unique, aren't they? I don't think they're one or the other really. I wouldn't classify them because of the jam inside and the, I think really, yeah, probably more a bit of a cake than a biscuit.
It's a cake. It was proven in court. You can't come at me with this. A biscuit gets soft over time as it gets mouldy and old. A cake gets hard, like a Jaffa cake. It's a cake.
Whether or not you think a Jaffa cake is a cake or a biscuit, we still hope you enjoy this World Biscuit Day, because I know I will be.
So it's World Biscuit Day and I've come all stocked up here, so we've got plenty of biscuits in the studio. But the main question has got to be, Kath, what's your favourite biscuit?
I got to say a custard cream, so I'm glad you brought them today.
Nice one. And Nathan, I see the Jaffa cakes have made it all the way over to you over there.
I brought some Jaffa cakes with me today, got to get that twin pack in
And
here.
quickly, what's your least favourite biscuit?
It's got to be a rich tea for me. There's no chocolate. It's primarily just used for dunking in tea,
That's
isn't
so
it?
nice, though.
Oh, brilliant,
What is that all about?
And we could be here arguing for hours about biscuits, but unfortunately that's all the time we've got for today.
You can keep up to date with these stories and let us know your favourite biscuit at Quays News.
Thanks for watching, and everybody have a very good evening. Goodbye.